dear students. This is your lecture number 11 and unit number 3. Today we will start unit 3, and the unit 3 basically deals with the remote sensing, the concept of remote sensing, what type of images are formed in the remote sensing technique, how to process that particular image, and what is GPS. That is all about your unit 3, and this is the first lecture for your unit 3, the basic concept of remote sensing. In today's lecture, we will study about what is remote sensing, what is electromagnetic spectrum, what are the basic concepts which are related with the remote sensing, the process of remote sensing, how the light interact when uh, light rays just enter the earth surface or strike the earth surface and return back to the atmosphere or the space, what type of resolutions are present, and which type of sensors are used in the remote sensing technique. That is all about your today's lecture. So what is remote sensing? This is the question. Remote sensing is basically made up of two words. One is remote and second one is the sensing. So to sense the object which is very far away from us is considered to be remote sensing. The remote sensing technique gave us the idea about a particular object related to its spectral, spatial and temporal features. Means each and every object on the earth's surface have a specific feature, have a specific resolution, a specific signature for itself. So the remote sensing technique basically traces its specific signature, a specific characteristic for which it is very well known. In the remote sensing technique, the electromagnetic rays or electromagnetic waves are captured, and they help us to interpret the object or the particular situation. Firstly, the thing which came to our mind is what are the electromagnetic waves, means which type of waves are considered to be electromagnetic waves and why the waves are called as electromagnetic waves. The sun is the main source of energy, and the light which comes through the sun are considered to be white light, and they are also called as electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves are the waves when this type of waves are passed through the electric field and the magnetic field simultaneously, then the characteristic of wave in the electric field and in the magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. So any type of wave which show a perpendicular relationship in the electric field and magnetic field are considered to be electromagnetic waves. What are waves? Wave are the form of energy. It is a particular form of energy. And what is the wavelength? It is a specific distance between two peaks of a particular wave. The higher region is considered to be the crust, and the depression are also called as trough. So distance between two specific crusts are considered to be wavelength, and the repetition of a particular wave at a at a particular distance or a particular point is considered to be frequency. Means the number of time it is replicated to a particular distance is considered to be frequency. The wavelength and frequency are two important things when we talk about the light characteristic. Light is a form of energy, and the velocity of light is considered to be c equal to nu lambda. And what is c? C is the velocity of light, nu is the frequency, and lambda is basically the wavelength. This is the electromagnetic spectrum. When a particular wave is arranged on the basis of increasing order of wavelength or decreasing order of the wavelength, or increasing order of the frequency or decreasing order of the frequency, then it is considered to be spectrum. Means any sort of rays when arranged in the ascending order or in the descending order, as per the frequency or wavelength, then it is considered to be spectrum. And when the electromagnetic waves are arranged in the order of increasing order of their wavelength or decreasing order of the frequency, then it is considered to be electromagnetic spectrum. The ray which have the lowest wavelength and the highest frequency are the gamma rays, then the X-ray, then UV rays, visible rays, near infrared, thermal infrared, microwave, and the radio wave. Radio waves are the wave having longest wavelength and very least frequency, and the gamma rays are the rays having higher frequency and the lowest wavelength. These are the waveband in which the remote sensing technique works, that are the optical, UV, visible, reflected, near infrared, mid infrared rays, thermal, and far infrared rays. The various techniques when capture the images, the when the light gets reflected from the earth's surface, the main sensor or the satellite which are present in the space capture the waves lie in this waveband, and then helps in the interpretation of what particular sort of information which these waves gives to the particular satellite. When we talk about the remote sensing technique, there are two basic processes which occur in the remote sensing. First one is the data acquisition, and second one is the data analysis. In the data acquisition, all sort of land feature, vegetations, means all sort of information which we can gather about in a particular object or place or any vegetation, we will collect that and then process that particular information in the form of image. Later on, that particular imaged form information is further processed for a decision interpretation, for decision making or any interpretation with the help of GIS software. In the process of data acquisition, there are a few things which we have to know. First one is the energy source, which type of source is used for illuminating the object, whether it may be a sun or a satellite one. Second one is the how the light interact with the atmosphere, means all the total amount of light which is incident by the sun is totally strike the surface of any particular vegetation, or some part is missed, that we have to first consider. So how the light interact with the atmosphere, how the light interact with the surface feature of the earth, and how it retransmit back or reflect back from the earth to the atmosphere, which type of sensors are used for capturing image of a particular land terrain, and which type of information is generated by that particular sensor. That are the few things which we have to consider in the remote sensing. In the data analysis, firstly, the data which is captured with the help of remote sensing sensors are analyzed. The data may be a pictorial data or a digital data. That particular data are used for mapping purpose, or for developing any model. Later on, the data which we gain with the help of remote sensing are used in the GIS software for making of a detailed map having different information about a particular area. And that particular map which is generated with the help of GIS is later on used for decision making or for interpretation of any sort of problem or any particular situation in an area. The main concept of remote sensing is that the light sorry, the light may be artificial or the light may be natural. The particular light ray strike the surface of earth, the vegetation or the land feature absorb or reflect back that particular radiation. That particular reflected back radiation is captured by the satellite which is present in the space, and that reflected back radiation are then sent back to the remote station which is present on the earth surface for detailed information about a particular object. In the remote sensing technique, there are two type of remote sensing technique. First one is the active remote sensing, and second one is the passive remote sensing. In the active remote sensing, basically the source of light is artificial, means the satellite itself act as a source of light. Satellite itself send a pulse of energy to interact with the target. The target may be a vegetation, grass, water body, or whatever, a stone or rock. In the active remote sensing, human can control the nature of source of energy, the amount of energy, because the main source of energy is satellite itself. So human have the power to control the amount of light, the intensity of light uh, which which can or which will fall on a particular target object. Remote sensing in the microwave region of the electromagnetic spectrum is the best example of active remote sensing. The in the passive remote sensing, basically the source of light is natural. The sun itself acts as a source of light, source of energy. The satellite sensor, the main sensor which are used in the passive remote sensing, capture the amount of radiation which are reflected back after striking a particular object from the earth's surface. A portion of, sometimes it may happen that whatever amount of light or the target will not reflect back the radiation, it will absorb all the radiation which strike the surface of that particular target. Later on, after some time, it emit out, or it emit some other radiation having different wavelength. Then it is also considered as the emitted passive remote sensing. Means the remote sensing which occur when the source of energy is natural, then it is considered to be passive remote sensing. But sometimes it may happen that few object or few target object do not reflect back the radiation which are incident on that particular object. They absorb all the radiation and reflect back some different radiation, or some different radiation having different wavelength. So they emit some sort of radiation, and when that emitted radiation get captured with the help of satellite, then it is called as emitted passive remote sensing. In the remote sensing process, there are two type of the energy source. One is the natural one, and second one is the artificial one. The electromagnetic radiation enter the surface, get incident on a particular object, again reflected back from the surface of a particular object, which is captured by the satellite which are present on the, which revolve around the earth orbit. In the active remote sensing, the satellite itself acted as a source of energy. It transmits some sort of radiation which strike the surface of the target object, again reflected back, which is stored by that particular satellite. This satellite gives signal or information to a remote station which is present on the earth's surface. That remote station that remote station just translate the particular signal into a, no, into a information which is easily understood by the scientist or any person which is who is considered to be a data analyst. Later on, that particular data is interpreted and further processed for practical implications. The basic concept lie behind the remote sensing are the main source of, what is the main source of electromagnetic radiation, whether it may be a natural or artificial one, how it interact, whether the light get absorbed, reflect, scattered, or refract, how it interact with the atmosphere, and which type of sensors are used in the process of remote sensing. That are all the main things which a person have to consider when he talk about the remote sensing. The radiation, the electromagnetic radiation when enters the earth, this particular radiation get absorbed, transmit, or reflected. And the main concept of remote sensing lie in these three phenomena. Means if the light rays get absorbed or certain sort of radiation get absorbed, then the intensity of electromagnetic radiation decreases. There are some component or some air component which are responsible for absorption of light, like ozone, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. The ozone, which is present in the atmosphere of the Earth's surface, capture or absorb the UV rays. Carbon dioxide is mainly responsible for the absorption of infrared rays, and the water absorb the thermal infrared and the short microwave rays, because of which the total amount of light which is transmitted by the sun do not get incident, or the total amount do not get incident on a particular object. There is another feature, that is scattering. Scattering is basically the unpredictable diffusion of electromagnetic radiation by the atmospheric particles, means the gaseous molecules. Because of the obstruction created by the gaseous molecule, the light rays get scattered and do not fall on the target object. So this is also an important feature when we talk about the reflected radiation by a particular object. The third one is the reflection. The electromagnetic sensors capture the reflected rays. Reflected rays are basically the rays which get reversed back into the same direction from which the rays come. Diffraction is a certain diversion of a particular ray from its path. Basically, it occurs due to the change in the medium, or the due to the change in the medium, the variation in the wavelength of a particular medium. In the Earth's surface, the energy interact in the form of three ways. Means there is a law of conservation of energy. So the law of conservation of energy predict that all the energy in the universe remain constant. It only transform from one form to another. So there is one incident energy, second one is a reflected energy, absorbed energy, and a transmitted energy. These all form of energy are just switched on from one form to another and remain present in the atmosphere. Like when there is a smooth surface on the earth surface, when there is a smooth surface on the earth, the light will easily or smoothly reflect back from the earth surface. But if there is a irregular surface, or if there is a irregular feature on the earth surface, then the light will get diffused into different direction, and it will not reflect back into the same direction. When the light rays smoothly reflect back into the same direction, then it is called as specular reflection. And when it gets scattered into different direction, then it is considered to be diffused reflection. There are some features which are present in the remote sensing. Before talking about that, all those things, let us talk about some signatures of the remote sensing. What are signatures? Signatures are any set of observable characteristic which is directly or indirectly related to the identification of an object or its condition. Spatial, spectral, temporal are few variations of a few variable characteristic of the target which facilitate a particular observer for discriminating one object from another. What are the spectral signature? Spectral signature is a change in the reflectance or emittance of object as a function of wavelength. Color of object is the main manifestation of a spectral variation in reflectance in the visible region. The second one is the spatial. Spatial signature are basically the arrangement of parent feature providing attributes like shape, size, and texture of object which leads to their identification. The next one is the temporal signature. In the temporal signature, it is the change of reflectivity or emittivity with time. It may be diurnal or seasonal. The variation in the reflectivity during the crop growth helps to differentiate crops which may have similar spectral refractance, but whose growing cycle may not be the same. Means different crop having different growing cycle can be observed with the help of temporal signature. A plot of spectral reflectance versus growth stage of the crop provide a phenologic pattern, which is the main characteristic of the crop. Therefore, the remote sensing data acquired over the same area at different time can make use of temporal characteristics to differentiate between them in a better way. When a sensor observes certain feature on the earth surface, then the sensor observes the feature into features into four resolutions. The first one is the spatial resolution, second one is the spectral resolution, the third one is the radiometric, and the fourth one is the temporal resolution. Means any sensor will observe spectral resolution, any sensor will observe the temporal, anyone can spectral or radiometric observation. So what is spatial resolution? Spatial resolution tells about the amount of detail then that can be detected by the sensor or the smallest unit area measured. The spatial resolution tells about the space or amount of detail that can be detected by a sensor or the smallest unit area detected. Image where only large features are visible are, are said to have coarse or low resolution. In fine or high resolution, image of a small object can be detected. Detail mapping of land use practices require a greater or higher spatial resolution. The second one is the spectral. Spectral resolution describes the ability of sensor to define fine wavelength intervals. This refers to the number of bands in the spectrum in which the instrument can take measurement. High spectral resolution have better ability to exploit differences in the spectral signature. Low spectral resolution have poor ability to differentiate between different features. There are different type of sensors which are used in the spectral resolution, like panchromatic, multispectral, or hyperspectral imaging. The panchromatic imaging sensor basically have a broadband telling uh, giving idea or image of a particular object in black and white pattern. The multispectral imaging gives gives the information of a particular object but not in detail, and the hyperspectral imaging gives the information in very much detail. The next one is the temporal resolution. Temporal resolution tells about the time between two season, or it helps in the image acquisition over same area but at the different time. It depends upon the instrument, the field of vision, and the satellite orbit. Time factor in the imaging is very much important, but when it is important, that is the main question which we have to think. So the time factor is important when a person have to check the flood in a particular area, the oil slick in a particular area, or he have to check the spread of forest disease from one year to next, whether it transmit from one year to next in a particular forest crop. That are the things which are studied in the temporal resolution. Next one is the radiometric resolution. Radiometric resolution describes the actual information about a particular object in an image. Its ability to differentiate in very slightest difference between the energy, the sensitivity to the magnitude of electromagnetic radiation ensures the radiometric resolution. Remote sensing are basically the main instrument or devices which are used in the remote sensing are photography based and the remote sensing based. In the remote sensing based, there are two type of devices. One is the active device, and second one are the passive devices. In the photography based, the aerial photography is the main process which is performed successfully with the help of aircraft. There are so many platforms which are used in the remote sensing technique. Platform are basically the structure or vehicle on which the remote sensing instrument are mounted. Okay, this may be simple, they may be complicated. Generally, there are three type of platforms are present for a remote sensor, like ground observation platform, airborne, and a spaceborne. The ground observation platform are inexpensive, stable, and give a high resolution data. They give a closed characterization of a particular object, like of a single plant or a patch of grass, like that. They have a they cover a area of nearly 50-meter altitude. Example of the ground platform are like tripod stand, tower or crane. The airborne uh, platform basically are of three types, means low altitude, medium altitude, and high altitude airborne platform are there. So they measure, or they help in taking pictures of a particular object from a particular distance. I mean, the low altitude platform can measure or can have a look on the object from an area greater than 50 meter. The medium altitude aircraft can take a picture from a little bit more higher height, like that. Example of the platform are like aeroplane or high altitude aircraft, helicopter, etc. The next one are the spaceborne aircraft. The spaceborne aircraft are basically of three type, like space shuttles, polar orbiting satellite, and the geostationary satellite. The space shuttle can help in taking picture from a height of 250 to 300 kilometer. The polar orbit satellite help in taking picture from a height of 700 to 1500 kilometer, and the geostationary satellite help in taking picture from a height greater than 36,000 kilometer. This is all about the platforms. Next one are the sensors. Sensors are the device which have a ability to sense certain electromagnetic radiation. There are two type of sensors. One are the active sensor, and second one are the passive sensor. Active sensors senses the artificial light or the light which are transmitted by the satellite itself, and the passive sensor senses the light radiation which come from the sun or the natural source of light. So there are various sensors for the remote sensing technique. Few are active sensor and the few are the passive sensor, and they work at different wavelength or different band pattern. So here are some example of the active and passive sensor. The example of active sensor are sonar, sudar, laser, or are the radar. All are the example of active sensors. There are few advantages of remote sensing. The remote sensing technique help us to have a detailed idea of a particular place or particular vegetation. Repetition in the observation or in the particular detailed observation of a certain vegetation can be done with the help of remote sensing at a particular area in a periodic interval. Accessibility to a broad area, to a difficult terrain or valley region or hill region can be made with the help of remote sensing. We can get data very quicker as compared to other techniques. So it is a time saving technique and a cost effective technique. because we get a large amount of data in very small time, so it is cost effective. The type of sensor, which type of sensor, where to include that, where to mount that particular sensor, all are decided by the human. So there are chances of human error in taking the pictures or images of a particular target object. Calibration is another problem in the remote sensing, because each and every sensor need to be calibrated, and if proper calibration is not made, then the result will be erroneous. It is an expensive process and need a specialized training for successful or for perfect operation of the sensor. So this is all about the concept of remote sensing. Thank you.